Hey guys, welcome back. I'm here with my favorite human being, aside from my children and my husband.
Yeah, that'd be
Javier.
weird.
We're super pumped. He is obviously monopolizing the question, so I won't be able to see any of them. But I do just want you guys to.
Yeah, you like Lizzie likes to go to like the first question ever answered in the stream and like talk about that, and everybody's question gets ignored. So I'm taking over.
Okay, you've just taken over.
All right.
But anyway, I just want to say welcome, guys. It's fun to know where you're coming in from, where you're at in the home buying process, and you know how we can help you today. So post your questions in the chat. Oh my God, is that where it froze?
No, it's not. Zeke, you move the camera, tilt the camera like this, rotate it. Let me see him cut out.
Oh my goodness. There's this funny screen capture where
Lizzie
I was
does
literally
not do
like
good
this.
under pressure. You
No.
know, when you're doing a live stream, like it's okay to make mistakes like this.
Yes, I do.
You can actually make your live streams evergreen, but like make it last a long time. It's okay to have little mistakes like this. It's all right. It's not the end of the world. AW says hi. Steven Panetta says hi. Linda says hi. Jen Delaney, I'm sure she's not paid to be here, says hi.
She's my assistant, guys.
Rod.
She plugs in all the questions from the other social media
Hola,
channels.
Lizzie and Javier from Rod and Laura from Grand Rapids, Michigan.
Hey!
And Jesus is here. We got the whole gang here.
Awesome. Love it, love it. All right. Okay, so then is it not in real time? Like, what's the deal?
Oh, you wanted to actually be playing live while we're talking? Sure.
I don't know.
Go
No,
ahead.
not playing live.
We're live. There.
Okay, I don't know. I'm so nervous.
Why
Okay.
are you nervous? It's
All
a
right,
live-
guys. So I always like to start these live chats off with just a little bit of a market update. So last week we saw some improvement in interest rates, and this week is going to be pretty volatile. We have a lot of economic reports. Manufacturing reporting came out today, and the bond market hated it. So we saw a slight bump in interest rates today. It's going to be like that for the next couple of days as new employment numbers come out. So don't be alarmed by this. But by the end of the week, we should have a pretty good direction on what the next, I'd say month or so is going to look like for interest rates or what the climate is like. So I'll be updating you guys on my social channels. Check out the stories. I'm going to be posting something on Friday to just kind of give us some perspective on that. All right. Any questions or any feedback on
How's your day going?
My day?
Mm-hmm.
My day has been all over the place. So today it's my kiddos. I have a third grader, guys, and a kindergartner. Both super impactful years of school for me. Like, I really remember kindergarten, and I feel like third point in my life.
What happened in third grade?
God, this is going deep fast. So I had a third grade teacher. So like I told you guys, I am from kind of humble beginnings. My mom worked 2 jobs, and we had a kind of a stressful life when I was younger. And I had a third grade teacher who told me she didn't feel sorry for my situation. To change it, I was going to really have to apply myself in school so that I could get ahead in life and get scholarships and actually do something.
What led up to it? The teacher telling a third grader that? What were you doing?
It's a very long story that I'm sure my family wouldn't appreciate me sharing on a live, but she knew about my personal situation and really held me accountable as like an 8-year-old to really take ownership of my life. And it was like super interesting because I hadn't really applied to myself that well. I mean, you're like 8 and 7, but I didn't really care, and then became like a straight A student and super focused on what education could do to get me out of Nogales. So it worked.
I did not expect us to go that deep. I was just checking on your day. I'm sorry.
Yeah, well, you were like, what happened in third grade?
Sorry.
So yeah, how was your day?
Third grade was very pleasant for me. Actually, no, I think that's when my parents started divorcing, so I can go into that tangent, but I'm not. My day's going good. I just stayed home all day. Coaching sessions today with like back-to-back, so pretty good. Our agent mastermind went well as well, so we're good.
Yeah.
So you do a YouTube agent mastermind where I teach agents how to do YouTube at a high level, so plug. Check that out.
Yeah. Steven, this also applies for loan officers. So if
Of
you're
course,
interested,
yeah.
like this should be it. If the mortgage man comes on this live chat, you should also check that out.
Awesome. There you go. So you had some questions from me.
Okay, so I also wanted to start out this live chat with really your perspective on whether or not you feel that single family residence is an investment. So this is a hot debate between people that talk about investments all the time. There's a big case for, that the home that you live in, that if it has a mortgage, it's a liability and it isn't really an asset. And then there's those that argue that the equity that you earn is the actual asset. And so I'm obviously on the camp that views your primary residence or your investment or real estate as an actual investment. But I did get a lot of feedback from the video I just posted on Tuesday about that very topic. And since you always kind of take the side of like, you know, real estate and loan officers always trying to scam you, I just figured you would be a good devil's advocate.
Always trying to scam you. I mean, first of all, there's something to be said there that the real estate industry does, even though the idea of home ownership is something that's amazing, but the idea that agents and lenders need to survive also push people to buy sooner, or they bring that idea to people that might not be buying. I'm not saying it's a good or bad thing, but you have to acknowledge that, right?
Yeah, I think that. So here's what I will say. Anytime that somebody gets paid on giving you advice, anytime they do, they have a vested interest in seeing you purchase, right? But this applies to like literally everything.
Yes.
Like I had a dentist who gave me 16 fillings, right?
Did you need every single one of them?
I went to a second dentist who said I didn't actually need all 16
Yes.
fillings, right? And so you just don't know, right? So yes, it's going to be on a spectrum. My personal philosophy, though, about whether or not like single are investments is that even though it is a liability, the amount of money that people actually earn in equity always outpaces what they're able to save.
Yeah, to answer your initial question, sorry, I was just commenting on this. They said I think they're scams. I don't think they're scammers. It just that's what my opinion on it is. I think that what is an investment? But when you put money into something and it pays back a return, right? So I think it would be dumb to say that it's not an investment. Clearly, a lot of people and both of us have made money off our homes, right? We've bought homes, we've sold them. We were in a good market, but even the house that you lost during the recession, you always say you could have held on to it, right?
I didn't lose it, just so you guys know. I sold it at a loss.
Sold it at a loss.
Yep.
So you could have held on to it, though.
I should have and wanted to.
So even during bad or good times, there's some kind of problem with this idea. Isn't necessarily the idea that if it was an investment or whatever it is. My idea is that to lower and middle class people, it's sold as the only investment we can have. It's sold as the only thing that we're able to obtain. The idea of different, like you've taught me, stock, IRAs, all kinds of things, is just they make it seem so difficult and hard that when I talk to my brothers and sisters and family members who are still not doing well, they're still lower class, middle class, they have never heard of these things. And not only that, but they push you away when you start talking about that. Like they don't want to hear that. But you can go to someone who's lower middle class and you can present the idea of buying a home and they feel more comfortable with that. So I think it's dumb to say it's not an investment because people make money off of it every day. It is clearly an investment. My problem is it's viewed for middle class and it's pitched to them as the only way they can invest.
Well, so to be devil's advocate about that very thing, most people don't have extra savings and they literally live paycheck to paycheck. And so if they can, figure out a way to get a down payment or they do down payment assistance, sometimes buying a home is literally the only way they can invest. So like in my situation, my mom worked 2 jobs. She was married at the time. They had a down payment. They were able to purchase. But at some point, the house actually became the only way that she was able to save any kind of money. And then once she was in a better financial position, she actually had like 6 figures to start her life over again because she had the house for 20 years. So 100%. I just think that like in some cases, it literally is the only thing that people can afford. And so on the camp of people that say it's a liability, one of the challenges was like, okay, so you pay for this thing and then over time, the whatever you borrowed is like doubled because of interest that you pay. And then they said that whatever appreciation you would get would be offset by the amount of interest that you paid. And I can also see that camp, to be honest, too, except that people rarely live in their house for 30 years. And, and also I think that, and I've never actually compared the two, but I actually do also think that like in Arizona, real estate has doubled, every 20 years. And so like if you're living in your house for 30 years, chances are you've doubled and made money, right? So,
yeah, I think though it's purely circumstantial on how the market is though, because right now I don't think someone who can get a down payment assistance and buy a proper house, it's possible, but it'd be extremely difficult. Whereas in 2012 to 15, I would talk to people who didn't have any lick of savings. Maybe just as long as you had $500, you could buy a house. All right, or you go borrow $500 from your uncle, you would be able to buy down payment assistance, get your closing costs paid, and the lender would be able to find a way to close. Right or wrong?
Yeah, you could do down payment
Home in
assistance.
five,
Yeah,
Home
in
Plus,
5. Yeah.
all those. So it's just that's depending on if it's a good market to buy. Right now, people can't do that.
No, people can't do that. So this is a very aggressive market, but I had some like really aggressive comments, and then like I don't know, I had nothing better to do
What were they
than
saying? Let me look them up.
respond to these comments. But there was this guy who like specifically said that I was harming people by telling them that they should purchase. And my thing is, I don't tell anyone whether or not they should make a purchase. What I say is that, like, whether it's now or a year from now, you have no idea what the market is going to do. Like, we have no idea at this moment in time, the information that we have today, despite any of the lower mortgage applications and the lower numbers in new home sales. I mean, we still see that housing prices are going to go up. Like, and so, like, if you wait to buy today and then you buy next year, right, because somebody said that the market was going to get better, or even in 2 years, right, like you miss out on the opportunity to buy when your budget says it's ready and then capture some of that equity. They're saying that this is absolutely a housing crash and it's absolutely going to fall and that all these people are going to be damaged. Yeah. But like, they just say that because housing prices have gone up so much.
Yeah, I mean, you can acknowledge that kind of thinking is kind of weird to just think it's going to crash and don't do anything. Because if we would have listened to those people, there's a lot of people that wouldn't have had money right now, right? Because we bought.
But they've been literally saying. So think about how many years they've been saying this. Yeah, no, not just for decades. Well, I guess a decade now. People have been saying that it's going to crash. I don't know. Like for me, I feel like timing the market is the most difficult thing.
Someone deleted Conrad's comment. Don't delete it. He's a friend of mine. Sorry, Conrad. Sorry, they're like, he said market crash when, but as a joke.
Oh, you got it.
Let's go. Sorry, what were you saying?
So I've actually commented on when I actually thought the market is likely to crash, and it's whenever you can see a big surge in supply and not enough people. But I mean, guys, it's like 10 years from now, right? At minimum. And even then, who knows what they do with it? So it's like, yeah. I don't know.
No, yeah, I think we have to also acknowledge though that I agree. The person in 2013 or 14, this is the video. Where is that it?
This is the 12
Okay,
responses.
I'll look at it right now. You follow this person. I think it's also, we have to acknowledge that in those markets, it's perfect because, yeah, you're right. I agree with that the situation because when I was 19, 20, I didn't have my first one. My wife did. We bought a house with barely anything. We got down payment assistance. We sold it, 2 years later. And that $30,000-$40,000 we made was the jump start in our life that propelled me to this point. I would have not had those 10 or 20K for structure and for that loan to be a better house. I would not be the man I am today. So, but what do we do when the market is volatile like that? We're removing those opportunities from people to get that investment. So then at that point, the person who lives paycheck to paycheck now cannot even invest or buy a house.
So it happens, right? And so that's why I tell people you have to know what else to do with your money, which is why I've encouraged people to max out their retirements, to start really concentrating on their debt reduction. I mean, there's other things you can do with money. It's not just buy a house, But I think for me, like, it's hard because I am vested, right? And I am passionate. And part of the reason that I work in real estate is because I believe in it so much, right? So, I mean, yes, I'm biased. Like, I don't want to pretend I'm not. But I also feel that there are requirements for when you should be ready. Like, I talked to a gal today who, yes, with a credit plan in 30 days could qualify, but she barely had, like, she had less than $1,000 in her whole account, and she was gonna like beg, borrow, and barter, for all of this stuff. And I'm like, look, it shouldn't be this difficult for you to purchase a house. Like, there's other things. Let's concentrate. Let's set up a plan. Let's make sure that in a year from now, right, you're in a different position. And I can't tell you what rates will be like or what the market will be like, but I can tell you that buying a house on that kind of situation isn't great either.
Yeah, I talked to someone the other day, and they told me the only thing they have in their savings is $60,000 for everything, the house, everything, savings, everything. So I told them, stop telling me you have $60,000. You only have $50,000. $10,000 emergency, don't touch it, right? So yeah. We have to make sure to, a good agent or lender, they're not all bad, we're not financial advisors. We're far from it, but the good ones look out for your interest rather than just try to get you a house. Well, it's hard to be a bad agent in this market. You kind of have to be good. But the listing agents are really terrible in this market.
I think
Really
buyers agents and listing agents are really terrible in this market. I mean, an unknowledgeable buyer's agent will advise you to be in a contract that maybe you can't fulfill.
Yeah. Bertha, what's up? Same, we bought our first house with nothing. Javi helped us out every time. Yeah, Bertha and Luisa bought the house like 3 times.
Oh, Bertha.
Oh, that's awesome, yeah.
I just want to give her a shout out, guys. She is such a hardworking, awesome human being, and I really love and appreciate you sending so much love.
How do you know her?
Because she helped me help her dad with the home.
Oh, that's right. And
she was so awesome. Yeah. I just have to throw that out there.
Darren Buttery says, I was able to use down payment assistance in 2021 via BOA grants. It's difficult, but still possible.
Yeah, down payment assistance, guys, is still being utilized in any market. It's more difficult, right? And Darren is a perfect success story, guys. He bought a house under market. He bought it using down payment assistance. He's been renovating the property, and now he has a ton of equity. He is a success story even in 2021. And that's my point, right? It's do what your budget says, right? He was able to be patient. He found the right deal, and he pulled the trigger, right?
Yeah. Devin, interesting question. What would you tell your kids about renting versus buying in this market if your kids were 20?
So here's the thing, right? A 20-year-old's life is going to be all over the place. So I personally do not think that anyone should buy a home unless they know they're going to be in the property for at least 5 to 10 years. And I think it's just when you're 20, so much life happens. You get married, you want to move, you get a different job. So I would say, hey, at this moment in time, get a roommate, save as much money as possible. That's what I would tell my kid.
Wow. I would say, why are you asking me for advice? I kicked you out already a few years ago.
I bought my first home at 23, guys, completely underprepared. And I did it because I saw what real estate did for my family. And I just did not have any of the right principles. But even still, because this was also part of that comment, when you can tell, guys, when I have nothing better to do, I literally get into these stupid YouTube fights. But I was trying to explain, they're it's going to crash and you're going to harm all these people. They're never going to be able to
Wait, so you bought a house at 23?
So I bought a house at 23, $168,000. Okay, top of my budget.
Wait, I thought they were 20 or 30,000 in the 1950s.
Oh, you're such a fucking. All right, so 168,000. 2 years after I bought my property, the property was worth half. I think it was 3 or 4 years after, it was worth 33,000 at its lowest. And everyone kept telling me it was never going to come back. And I'm like, okay, well, I'll have the loan paid off in 30 years, and then I'll just have to own the property forever so that it pays me back in rent, right? This was my philosophy about it. And when I tell people that real estate ebb and flows, yes, it might go down. Every type of investment does, even the S&P 500, guys, because this was this guy's argument.
Let me read it. I want to read it.
Oh, yeah, no, there's I don't know. He obviously commented again because there's only 11 comments and now there's 12.
He said, folks, wait, this is the epitome of the housing bubble.
Epitome.
Oh. I've read that wrong my entire life.
It's the epitome.
You can tell I went to Maryville. The epitome of the housing bubble. Don't let anyone with a vested interest in a frothy housing market, realtor or mortgage broker, tell you otherwise. Your response. That's one way to look at it, but I think it's also prudent to get expert advice, and I have spent my entire life career studying this. I worked in the boom early 2000s, recession, and the years of the recovery. I've seen what works, long-term, consistent money strategies. I can totally imagine you just in your office
No, you guys, it was nighttime. Look at it, was 18 hours ago. It was at nighttime. I'm and you know how annoying it is to text this out.
Jeff A., were you advising people to buy 2005 with 5% down?
I know.
Tobias. This lady,
Tobias, he was defending me.
This lady's just giving her point of view. Nobody's forcing you to do anything. If you're so weak, her words scare you away, then go away.
Thanks,
Jeff A.,
Tobias.
at the time I was working as a processor in mortgages, but I did buy my first property in 2006. If I still owned it today, in 2006, the peak, I still owned it today, I would have doubled my home value. Real estate is a long-term investment, which is why your budget cannot handle if you shouldn't buy. Video Garage responded, mortgage applications have decreased nationwide for the last 3 months despite low interest rates. Facts. The last 3 months, I thought it was only the last month or so.
It was the last month, but it's been up and down.
Yeah.
But even so, guys, just so you know, it was 10 times the national average in volume last year as it was to any other year. Of course, it's going to come down. It's ridiculous to think that that's a metric that we can use to qualify the housing market. Also, not to hate on these people, but I did go check out the content that they create, and literally one was like how to to prepare for the zombie apocalypse, whatever, and the other one was like, let me watch you feed my rabbit a strawberry. I was like, all right, these people are dumbasses. Why do I engage? I stopped commenting.
Wow, are you trashing them?
Kinda. I think I just did.
We love a grungy queen. It's okay.
Judgy queen.
A grudgy. Judgy works too. Laser says, came to confirm Javier isn't a hostage. I'm not a hostage, Lasers. Promise. Day night, we're buying a home with father-in-law. Can I use teacher home buyer program if I'm purchasing with them?
Wait, read that question again?
Buying home with father-in-law. Can I use a teacher home buyer program if I am purchasing a home buyer with them? We know you have a vested interest in the market because you're just a lender, but please give us your opinion.
Okay, so if you're in Arizona, the down payment assistance programs do allow for non-occupant co-borrower, and they do have additional incentives for teachers. So if that's the question you're asking, yes.
There you go. When will Biden cancel my student loans? From Conrad. You have an inside scoop to Biden, right? You said he started talking to you ever since you got your vaccine?
He's like my homie. No.
No? Oh, okay.
I'm still praying that he helps me out with immigration problems.
What are you trying to say?
Nothing.
Do you have papers?
I do have
I'm just
papers.
kidding. We all are. Thoughts on eviction?
This is a great debate because so many people haven't had to pay their mortgages, and a lot of people think that the same things apply to rent, and they actually don't. So people who haven't paid their rent, I think it's due in total. I do actually think that this is going to be a pretty big deal, but honestly, I'm not going to speculate because they typically come out with a new information or new legislation, and this is a hot topic right now. Affordable housing is. So we'll see what happens. But I do actually think that this is an area of concern for the economy.
100%. And this idea that, once they get it back, they can simply just, rent it to someone else or sell to get their money lost. Well, that's the case. But then there's someone that's homeless. And secondly, what if there's too many people listing at the same time? And with demand dropping right now, will it be able to satisfy the need?
Well, demand is dropping in buying a house, but demand is 1,000% increasing for rental properties, guys.
For rental properties,
so
yes.
the people who are getting evicted, guys, they will be replaced by so many other people.
How are they going to make up the money they lost, though?
The investors? I mean, they write it off on their taxes, just like creditors do. I mean, this is part of being an investor, guys. Sometimes you lose. This sucks. This is the negative part of real estate. No one could have predicted that the government was going to shut down the entire economy and tell people not to pay the rent. I mean, and now this will be the new marker for why you should never buy an investment property.
Lizzie says, get over it, investor loser.
I'm saying that these are the risks you take. You take a risk of having a bad tenant. Everyone does when they decide to be an investor.
Doug Schemmel, which I agree with this.
Right.
We're not financial advisors, but I agree with it. While you're waiting to buy a house, invest in a Roth IRA or start a Roth IRA. You can always use your investable money to buy when you're ready, and up to $10,000 to purchase a home. I would invest in it, just not slowly, just not to pull it out when you buy a house. Just do it to start it. Even if it's anything, start.
I think what he's recommending is just to max out your retirement accounts. I think if you have the benefit, if you work at a place that does a 401k, especially one with a match, that's your number one option. And then secondary, do the IRAs.
A Roth is only $6,000 a year.
Yeah, I know. But if they have the option to do their 401ks, depending on how much they make, I mean, I think it's $19,500 or $18,500. But the thing is, you should max it out. One of my favorite facts, and you can Google this, is that after 20 years of investing consistently and maxing out your 401ks, the person, depending on what they're invested in, should have somewhere between $1.5 to $4.5 million. That's amazing.
Yep. Steven says Lizzie After Hours is great entertainment, and agreed, Lizzie After Hours. So why is this called Lizzie After Hours
Because
now?
I called people dumbasses and said shut the fuck up 5 seconds ago.
Still doing that, huh? Let's see.
No, honestly, this is just my real personality after hours, but obviously you can see that I have a presidential side, right, where I respond very politely.
When you say hey, yeah, guys, when you say guys, that's when you know you're being presidential. That's when you put your YouTube face, hey guys, so I told you guys this, that, or the other. That's when
I know. It just wears off.
I know. She copied Javi after. Well, let's not say that.
Oh, I didn't copy
I
Javi.
used to
I
say
have my own personality.
No, she's talking about the After Dark. I used to go Twitch live show after the stream. Remember that?
They're the ones that call me after hours because this is when I get like so.
Darren isn't from my channel.
Darren Butter's not from your channel?
Mm-mm.
Darren loves you. You're like his
He
third
must
favorite
love me,
YouTuber.
but third. Steven Pineda's not mine either. I know Conrad is with me. Jesus was with me. Bertha here's with me. That's it. I don't see anyone else.
Well, good. These are my peeps. Whoop!
Yeah, it's all your people. Andy A says, hey guys, coming on from closing day, do lenders prefer if you have more in savings aside from what is needed for closing fees, can only have the closing fees look bad?
Yeah, honestly, anytime you can have more assets than just your closing fees and your down payment, it makes you that much stronger of a borrower. Reserves, like all the time, always a great thing to have.
Bertha says we're having drinks, so it's after hours. Do you prefer michelada or wine?
Oh, michelada all the way. My favorite drink.
Conrad says, Team Lizzie, what do you mean? Yeah, so what do you mean by Team Lizzie? Should I buy this year in SoCal? I don't know, dude. We're not going to tell you what to do with your life.
Hey.
Why people tell us, like, it's up to us to tell them if they should buy a house?
We don't know the market area in SoCal,
Oh
but
my
we
God,
can
you're
give
so
you
nice.
parameters for when you should decide to buy. So if the mortgage payment is anywhere between 30 and 50%
So nice.
of your net take-home income and you don't have a lot of discretionary debt like credit cards or student loans, like this should be fine for you. Okay. So if that's what the mortgage payment looks like, you got multiple months of reserves, you have a down payment on your own, you can afford closing costs, then I would say it's okay to pull the trigger. I don't know your area though at all, so I'm not commenting on value.
She's nice. She clearly doesn't get this question as much as I do. I'm so tired of answering that question. Patricia, former client, says yams for Michelle, but I think she meant yay for Micheladas.
Yeah, micheladas.
Conrad says Dave Ramsey keeps me up at night. I know you don't like that word, so.
I do not mind. Look, guys, Dave Ramsey is somebody I look up to. I think he's helped so many people get out of debt. I just get frustrated when people try to preach his principles to me about buying a home because I don't think that they're modern enough.
Yep. Someone says here, hey, I just watched your recent video on Tesla stocks. I think it's a great idea to keep investing in Tesla. What are your thoughts?
I didn't make a video on Tesla stocks, so there's that. But I did think of like a really amazing comeback to your Tesla debate from last week.
What debate?
The one that said Amazon's not profitable, and I'm like, it isn't profitable.
I didn't say that.
Somebody said it to me.
Okay.
On this, but it isn't profitable, but it could be profitable, and it's definitely not as in debt and underwater as Tesla.
NJNP.
End comments. End debate.
That was a joke. That was a comeback. NJNP says real estate jokes, question mark. Do you have a real estate joke? I have one. Buyers in the housing market in 2021. It's not happening. It's a joke. The housing market's a joke. Okay, no, it didn't land. Sorry. So anyways, what else is new?
What do you mean what else is new?
Just trying to hide the shame of you not laughing at my joke. Go ahead, take over.
I'm not. I can't see anything.
What do you mean?
I can't
How old are
read when
you?
you're like this. I don't know. I'm old. I don't know. I need glasses. All right, guys, start asking us your. Oh my God, what happened there?
Oh, so when you rotate the screen, it gets dark.
Oh, start asking us your questions, guys. We'll start answering them.
Nikola Jokic.
Djokovic.
It's just Jokic, isn't it?
Oh, Jokic. Hey,
Jokic.
how do you pronounce your last name in phonetics?
No, I know because he's an
I know,
NBA
we've spoken
player.
to him.
We have?
Nicola? Yeah, we
Isn't
referred
it
him to
Jokic?
a realtor and
Jokic?
a loan officer in
mean we?
California.
You didn't say we. I didn't do it.
Yes, we did.
What?
Nicola, did we give you advice? Did we give you a referral? And do I communicate with you on Instagram mostly?
I don't remember getting a referral check. I didn't do anything. It was your referral.
I don't know.
Who knows? Can you use 401k for cash reserves? I have 401k, only 10k cash. The rest is invested in my 401k.
So yes, so long as you can actually withdraw the funds in case of a hardship and you have funds to borrow against, right? So sometimes people's retirement accounts are restricted, meaning that the company says you can't take out any money because the money isn't vested, or you have actually borrowed against all of your assets. So it depends on, if you have any loans out and what your company policies are. But typically, yes, we can use the account for reserves at 60% of whatever the last statement value is.
Nicholas said, yes, you did, and Javi just sandbagged off you. What's sandbag mean? I'm a millennial.
I'm not 100% sure what sandbag means, but
that sounds like a 50s term. Weren't you like 20 when, like, Mad Men? That was
you guys. I'm 38 years old. I'm not 100.
Okay.
I'm like just 10 years older than Javi.
Let's see. I had a good one and I lost it. How did you guys meet, Jen Delaney, who's not being paid to watch this?
So I met Javier because he needed a Spanish-speaking lender, and I speak Spanish, and so I helped him. And
she doesn't remember.
I do.
So
yes,
you
I do.
taught a class in my home group?
No.
And I also...
Justin Haynes introduced us.
Nope.
You went to a class before Justin Haynes introduced
I went to a
us?
class in my home group, and Daniel Barraza was teaching right before he did, and I got your card, and I think I texted you because I needed a Spanish-speaking lender, and I got touched base with Alejandra, and then the first deal we happened to do together happened to be Daniel Barraza's listing, and that's the one where we had to hit there was a $500 appraisal thing.
I totally helped you with all of that, but Justin Haynes is the one.
He did not introduce us. Really?
Justin Haynes is the one that introduced us.
I don't believe you.
I promise.
I don't believe you. So maybe
because it was like this big thing because you used to work with him, and then after that transaction, you wanted to work with me.
Really?
Yes. So basically, what ended up happening is
Hashtag support to Justin Haynes.
I'm
look at your face when you look at me talk. Look at that. You look at me like you want to kill me. Look, watch. Look. See?
That is my face.
Look at that.
Oh my God. That is my resting
Look
business face.
Resting business.
Like, that is what I look like when I do my job. I can't help it.
Oh my gosh. Javier doesn't even speak Spanish, so that story confuses me. Darren Buttery, not sure how that translates to Lizzie and Javier, though. Sandbag in car racing means you don't go full throttle so the other person thinks they are winning, and then you hit it and overtake them right at the end of the race.
Oh.
Okay.
I don't know
hey, guys, what are the 20-year refi rates right now? Since you're a computer, you know all the rates in your head.
So I don't know all the rates, but I will tell you that 20 years are very comparable to whatever a 30-year mortgage is, and 10-year mortgages are pretty much the same at 15.
Andy, actually, I agree with Javier. Lizzie got that Javier off camera. I'm going to smack you. Look.
You guys, I'm sorry. I don't know what to tell you. This is like my face.
When she's listening, she's just like...
I don't know it. Like, that's my literal face when I'm paying attention. I can't help it. I'm trying to smile.
Jen Delaney, for the record, I'm not on the clock. I actually enjoy these. I'm also a big fan of your channel, too. Awesome.
Yeah, why are you such a hater? You know, she was my client for a decade before she actually came to work for me. She's amazing, and we love her, and she's awesome. And it was also her birthday last Wednesday. So if everyone wants to wish her a happy belated, that would mean a lot to me.
Happy birthday, Jen. How are you, Jen? How old is she?
I don't know. She's actually younger than me. And
oh, so she must be only in her 50s if she's younger than you.
That was my I want to strangle you face.
Let's see. What are the rates looking for 30-year fixed VA jumbo? Receipt pre-approval at 3.6.
That's a rate that I might shop around. Anything in the mid threes right now, and when you're going for government financing like VA or FHA, I would definitely shop around. Interest rates, guys, they're on a spectrum. A lot of it depends on your occupancy, how much down payment, what type of loan program, FICO score, number of borrowers, all kinds of things. And so just know that if you go to the Freddie Mac interest rate survey, if you just Google that, it'll take you to the most recent rate survey. And they like survey national lenders all over the country, and that's going to be your most accurate bet for where interest rates are.
It says they received that rate from you.
Well, then we have to go check. Now, this is what I'm saying. I don't know. If they receive that rate from me, I'm saying it is high, but jumbo. Is it a VA jumbo?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. This is what I'm saying when you're talking about like the type of loan structure it is. Whenever something is like jumbo or investment, you're going to end up like investment properties probably adding 1% to whatever rates are. And then also like whenever you go into jumbo category, sometimes it's 0.5%. So you have to pay attention to that. And those types of loans are very FICO specific, but I am going to take your information down too, because I want to look into that me personally on that. Yeah, I want to look into that personally.
People didn't like that I was being mean to you. Can you tell them our relationship and how it works? People are saying, ouch, and gosh, Javi, and that was rude. Can you express to them how that works?
Yeah, we have a really great relationship, guys. I do not take anything that Javier says personally. And I feel like, I don't know, I give him a hard time too.
Yes, but she does it in more like deeper ways. Like, why didn't you save enough? And what are you doing for your family? So she gets me back. You barely started investing now? No, I'm just kidding.
I never ever have said that.
I have a question for you. While people are kind of getting questions in there. So why is it that someone has to bring a pre-approval from another lender for you guys to give your best numbers?
So I don't typically give anyone the numbers that we're going to lock you in at, unfortunately, because in the market right now, like I said, in the last 30 days, interest rates have been at 2.625 to all the way at like 3.25. And we're talking in the last 30 days. So for me, whenever somebody's going to go shop, and I always give them a rate that's kind of in the median range so that, God forbid, if interest rates go up, they're still prepared. And if they go down, they're down. And every email says, we will lock you in wherever the lowest the market is. Typically, when we get a fee sheet from somebody else, it's like they've gotten their fee sheet, they're now under contract, and they're bringing whatever that fee sheet is to the one that we gave them for shopping. So I try to give everyone the best market rate I can. And that's just what I always try to do. Occasionally, like, I can ask my management if they're willing to take a hit on a loan. And sometimes they do, and sometimes they don't. Like, I've had to walk away from loans that I couldn't compete on. It just is the way that it is. Most loan officers have the same restrictions. But for me, it's hard because we work with a large volume of clients, and I want to be able to give people like a map for how to be successful. Like, I would have to give you an interest rate fee estimate every single day for that thing to be accurate. Does that make sense?
Yeah, makes sense. So,
and our company, I go to my management too, requires that I show them a fee estimate from someone else so that they can adjust our rates. It's kind of like the price match at all of your shops.
So you as a lender are restricted by your company. So
Yes.
by them doing a little more legwork, they can save some money.
Yes, they have to give an approval, and sometimes that's very daily based. Like, sometimes the market pays more basis points than they put on the rate sheet, and so they might say yes to that, right? But there's been lots of times where I just can't. Like, there are discount brokers out there, and there's discount banks, and like, you roll the dice with those people, right? And you've had clients that have like shopped us, not been able to qualify, and then us have to rescue the deal. I mean, that you get what you pay for. I don't know.
Yeah, like Better Mortgage actually called me. We've been talking about that potential sponsorship opportunity. Would you be able to get sponsored by Better Mortgage? No, huh? Lizzie Hoeffer, the YouTube channel?
I don't know. And I don't know that I would.
What's your opinion on Better Mortgage?
I think that, so here's always been my opinion about like the discount brokerages. If you already know that you qualify for your home loan and you're going to do a refinance and you're willing to go through a longer process, like, yes, like, I would not hesitate. For me, I always like stress and ease. Like, and if I'm paying an eighth more, I really don't care about him. When it comes to a purchase transaction, so like, for instance, like Zillow Mortgage and Better Mortgage are ones that we see often. So I get a rescue deal that was qualified by one of them too. I'm not going to mention which one. And the client was qualified for an FHA loan with a condo, and a week before closing, they're like, so sorry, this condo is an approved FHA. Like, that's something you find out day one of your purchase contract. But not to mention, you can also apply for a single unit FHA waiver on your town or condo, and they didn't even try. They didn't even know how to do it. And like, these are the types of things that happen when you get somebody who's underqualified to help you with your mortgage.
Do you have a poll to ask people? Oops, I didn't put a question. Sorry. I apologize.
So I don't know. I mean, but I do like their website. I do like what they say. I mean,
they don't know, but they, yeah.
But I mean, like, that's a scenario where it's like, okay, well, like, that person ends up getting so much stress, and to find out that they could lose a house in this market where someone else is just like, if it waited 30 more days, now someone's going to offer even more for it. It just sucks for that person.
What's going on with all these? I'm taking all the spotlight, but I got good questions, guys. What's your opinion on these cash buyer programs? Essentially, they're buying their property for the buyer with the guarantee they're going to qualify, and there's no guarantee what rate or what they give them, right? They're like holding the property for them.
Yeah, and then they pay a premium to refinance it back from them or buy it from them. Guys, I mean, this is one.
They pay a premium? How do you know?
Because I've seen them. So there's a couple of programs out there where they'll do a cash investment. So like the bank will buy the property cash, or the investor will buy the property cash. They'll increase the price and then sell it back to the person. I mean, everyone wants to get paid. It's just an interesting way of doing it. It's just, I mean, I think Open Door or OfferPad, one of them has that program.
Open Door has it. HomeLight has it. Homey's starting to do it. Zillow, I think, is trying to do it. Which is smart. I mean, they can't get to set the loan because they're the one funding the loan too, right? So they're the ones that do the loan as well once the house is bought.
I don't know. Oh, well, yeah, but if you
would be Open Door Mortgage that does it.
Yes.
Or Zillow Mortgage, or it would be HomeLight.
100%. Mm-hmm.
There you go. Sorry, let's go back and answer some questions. NDA serious question. I wonder what percentage of people daily visit the popular cities on a daily basis versus weekly, monthly. In other words, is a big city life just a weekend getaway or daily thing? Do you know the answer to that? How many people come to the city every week?
I don't know, but I do know that our population growth is expected to be highest in the country for the next several years. So,
have you seen borrowers who've had COVID partial claim having any troubles refinancing?
Yes, I have. So I've seen lots of people who have had temporary job loss or reduction in hours or lost bonus or overtime, and they originally qualified with those types of incomes, struggle, especially if they haven't been returned back to their regular hours, because the new COVID guidelines require us to average the income in that case, and that's really crappy. And I've also had people like, you know, who on an FHA loan, they have to be 3 months consecutive to pay on a payment plan before they can qualify. And sometimes their only way to get current again is to sell their property. And so that stinks too. So yes, it is more difficult for somebody who's been impacted by COVID.
Street Platoon 562, my current lenders offer me 3.124 for 20 years. Should I shop around? You're going to ask a lender if you should shop around. Of course, they're always going to say yes, dude.
First and foremost, like,
What's
again, like I said, go to the Freddie Mac interest rate survey and see if that is like close to the 30-year rate there. And then if it's not, I mean, you'll check. But again, like I said, without too much information about your credit score and without all the things, like, we have to just know, you know what I mean? Like,
should they shop around?
I mean, I don't think that it's bad to always shop around. I think I have tons of videos about how to shop around, when to shop around, how to do it on the same day, so you're comparing apples to apples.
Apples to apples. Have you heard of the grant for $17,000 that Bank of America is offering for first-time home buyers?
I have, and I heard it's a really great program. I did hear that it's difficult and longer to qualify for, but look, and you should always check into this because Bank of America is not the only one that has them, but they're called community, so CRA programs. So U.S. Bank has one. I think it's like 1% down. Compass Bank has them. Northern Trust has them. I mean, you should always call if you make less than 80% of the area median income, and you can Google this. You should call to see if you qualify for one of those programs.
How long should underwriting take scheduled to close on August 25th? When did you get an escrow? When did everything start?
I mean, again, that's bank specific, guys. I mean, like, that's one of the other things you have to check with the discount rate mortgage companies, because a lot of them are like weeks in underwriting. And in this market, like, would you say that somebody can get qualified with a 60-day close of escrow?
No.
I mean, or
you have
45
to get
days.
Really lucky, yeah. You have to be
I mean,
crazy.
it's more challenging to add one more thing that they have to consider.
Did Lizzie get muted? Did you mute Lizzie, Zeke?
No? Can you hear me now? Test, test, test.
I know she's talking a lot, man, but we ain't got to mute her.
You're such a... Yeah.
No, seriously, someone said she got muted. I don't know.
I don't know.
Bertha says, we owe about $1,000 on my car loan. That's the only open line of credit. Don't have a closing date yet. A house being built. Would I take a hit on my credit if I just paid off?
Yes. Don't pay it off.
What if she has like months left? She just has to pay like small payments?
Yes, she just has to make the minimum payment. Absolutely. When you close, if that's your only trade line and you close it, you will get a reduction in your credit score. So here's what I will tell you. If you're within 30 days, make sure that while the liability is still open, have them check to tell you when your credit is going to expire. And if it isn't expired yet, find out when the date is and then maybe pay it off. If it's going to expire before your closing date, have them re-pull your credit now so that way your FICO score isn't impacted.
That's a pro tip, by the way, when you're live streaming, is have them hit mute for like a few seconds, and then people start commenting like, you're muted, and increases engagement like really crazy. It gets people. It wakes them up. It works. Look how much people. Did Lizzie get muted? No, I can hear Lizzie. Sounds good here. One word. We are way ahead of our payments. Yeah. So there you go. Anthony Chappelle. Is it possible to get a 3.875 attached investment condo paying less than 1 point?
Again, I don't know your situation, but I will tell you that the best investment rates are with 25% down. So if you can do that, check that option.
Should I have another kid?
I mean, my third child is one of my favorites. So
is your favorite?
Is one of my favorites.
One of your favorites, but there's 3.
I know. They're all my favorites.
Okay. She said, damn, I fell for it. LOL, it does work. Amina says, Lizzie and Javier are my favorite YouTube duo. You guys are so helpful. I don't think Kyle would like hearing that. My husband and I are looking to buy a house next year, and we've learned so much from you both.
Oh, thanks,
Thank you,
honey.
Amina.
Appreciate it.
Thank you. Why don't you have Kyle come on?
I've tried to have Kyle on. It never worked out. Then I got COVID first, and then he was going to stop having people do lives with him, right? Mm-hmm. And then, I don't know, it just hasn't worked out. Kyle is very tall in real life, guys. I just have to point that out. So is Javier. Javier is also exceptionally tall. And I
was surprised by how tall Kyle was. Usually when I meet somebody, I like tower over them. But when I saw him, I'm like, oh, okay. He's like 6'1", 6'2".
I know, you guys.
I'm only slightly a little taller.
Have you ever seen Step Brothers? Obviously, you've seen Step Brothers.
Yeah.
Okay, this was like the real life version of that. They're like, did we just become best friends?
It felt like that.
I know.
It was so funny when the first time I talked to Kyle over we were texting or DMing, and then we had got on a phone call for something. And I remember I just mentioned that I started therapy, and that was just ever since then we've been brothers. I don't know. It was something about that we connected.
Vulnerable.
We were both vulnerable. Does Lizzie hate Javi? No, 65%. Yes, 34%. 26 votes. All right.
I can't believe anyone said yes.
It's a joke.
I know, but why would you post that?
I don't know. Just to get people engaged. You gotta keep people in the moment. It's a live stream.
Oh my God. Okay.
Woo!
Okay, I did have a live stream with other people who also don't yell at me as much as you.
Okay, well, look at the way you look at me when we're talking. I have to yell to defend myself. Just look right there. It's a little delayed. No, wait, no. Watch this. I'm going to say something. I think Dave Ramsey said you should always invest in Tesla. Okay, no, yeah, that wasn't. I was going to say, look at your face right now when I said that.
I don't know, guys. This is how you can tell I'm an authentic human. It's just my face.
So you're saying that other people aren't authentic?
No, I'm just saying that I can't hide my feelings. So, when you ask me a question, you can see how I'm feeling about your question.
You must think I'm really dumb then.
I don't think you're dumb. I honestly, when I'm trying to hear, I obviously make that face.
Unless I'm missing it, Javier, I haven't seen a live stream from you in a while. Last live stream I did was 2 weeks ago. This weekend was my daughter's birthday. The other weekend, I think I had a family commitment. My kids were our last weekend together as before school started. So, yeah, I've been taking it easy. But live stream will be coming this Saturday, so stay tuned for that.
When do you do your live streams in case somebody else wants to catch up?
Normally Saturday afternoons, 12-ish. But I didn't do a lot of videos this last week or two, too. So I've been kind of taking a mental break. I went really crazy on YouTube, and I did 3 or 4 videos a week for 3 weeks, and then it just kind of burned me out a bit.
What were you doing your videos on? All this corporate America buying all the properties? I actually, you know what's funny? I thought of you when I was recording my video, and it was Invitation Homes is going to raise rents by 6% on all of their renewals, and they're the largest cash purchaser in the country. And I was like, oh, fuck. Javi is in the know.
I tell you, man. It's not it's not conspiracy. It's happening. It's a legit thing.
It totally is happening, but it is also Mr. Zombie apocalypse. Also why mortgage applications are declining. Cash purchasers increased from 16% to 23% in a year. It's unheard of. And none of that goes into the mortgage applications.
Conrad calls them tinfoil hat videos.
Oh, your tinfoil hat videos?
Not at all.
I think I said that to you once, and then you just ran with the, get your tinfoil hat out. And then you, ran with it, all the visuals.
That was a year ago.
I know.
Should we have Kyle on? 92%. I can have Kyle on right now.
Yeah, let's get Kyle on. Should we get Kyle on? Do we want to try?
I may text him first to see if it's okay with him. I want to respect his boundaries.
You can tell he's been in therapy.
Can we FaceTime right now? I'm on Lizzie's live stream.
Hey guys, while he is
She said, "Hi guys."
Can you tell me what type of videos you guys would like to see from me? Right, I'm kind of having a little bit of creative fatigue right now, and it would be awesome to get some inspiration from this chat.
I believe you are your strongest when, even though you don't like making them, right? The fact that you see thousands of loans and people's budgets every day, well, not day, probably every few months, you can probably look at somebody's budget or look at somebody's financial situation and see if they can buy. Yes. And you don't make enough videos about that, or you don't title and thumbnail them correctly to actually give that impression. I gave you this idea, which I still think is golden. You should have somebody send you in their budget, and you on stream with a whiteboard behind you or with something break down their budget, what they can do better, so people can know how to stretch their dollar out more.
Okay.
But when I recommend you that, you did like this weird thing, or I don't remember what you did, but you did not do that advice. I guarantee you people are going to agree with me. We'll just wait.
We have one financial budgeting, and then who's Max Price Daddy?
Max Price Daddy is a legendary figure in the community.
He is.
Linda says, "Great idea, Javi."
I love Linda.
Great idea, Javi. Miss Shalalama. I agree with Javi. I would watch it.
Okay.
I know what I'm doing.
You do know what you're doing. I did try to execute that video, and so obviously I didn't do it well, so we'll try again.
You know, we're probably going to have to, yes, please. Kyle, I'm sure he'll be okay with that, but I think Kyle's kind of video would be good for that specific video where you have like an iPad and then you write on it and it goes on the screen. I think that would help because like people can't just go and make more money. So if you can break down, okay,
I actually disagree with that comment. But
okay,
yes.
You can go make more money, but people also do know what they're doing wrong with their current budget because you've seen so many of them that it'll be helpful. But what else do you guys think? Honestly, value both of you for going against the popular here. It's just getting your audience the daily problems you encounter with real situations. Exactly.
Okay.
Like guys, I saw 500 loans last month, and this is the number one problem I've seen with most loans.
Yeah, it's assets. That's your number one problem.
That's it. You just have to find a more simpler way of talking about it so people can know what they're clicking on. Whereas you probably would make a video, stop doing this with your assets, which would get no views.
I know.
But you can find a better way to title it and talk about it a little better. Like Conrad says, I watch all of Lizzie's old investing and budgeting videos.
I know, and they got like no love. So, Conrad, how do you know Javier? Are you just like a YouTube follower, or how do you know him?
He's my number one fan. I'm just kidding. Conrad is he was on our Discord, active Discord member. He's what we call a real estate Chad, and he also got a referral from me in Tucson.
Oh, is he a realtor?
No, he got a referral from me. He got an agent referral.
Oh, very cool.
He bought a house with that.
Okay, very cool.
Lizzie, do you use YNAB?
What is YNAB? No.
You need a budget.com.
Oh, no, I don't. I actually have my own Smart Sense budget online that I always recommend to people. Salty Boy Club. Okay, Darren, where are your one-liners? I've missed them all throughout these last two live chats. Is he just not reading them? I'm like...
Hey, I'm not reading them. He was like saying something about your blouse earlier. I was like, that's weird.
Oh, he's like really fun. Like he's actually really funny.
All right, let's hear it on the spot, Darren. Now everybody spends $200 on cold brew a month. They can just cut out. Well, it's not that easy money, and some people do not have that ability to see things that cut out. Okay, but yeah, I personally would love to see that, and like how if you make this amount of money, how you can start investing, or you always talk about how when you didn't were making that much money, you still found ways to invest it. So. Yeah, Ho cult of the day. Oh, that's right. We're the Lizzie Hoes.
The Lizzie Hoes.
The Lizzie Hoefers.
You guys are hilarious. Okay.
Lizzie had a video where she mentioned how to pay off a house sooner. Maybe make one that goes more into detail.
I like literally went into so much detail. I was like, if you did $10 more a month, if you did this more. I mean, I literally broke it down so much. Like how much more in detail?
What is your number one performing video right now? Okay, Lizzie, smack Javier, will you? You want to. My lawyer would be calling so fast, your lawyer.
Oh my
it would
God.
be funny. Is it typical for mortgage lender to raise up? Okay, guys, we need more ideas for videos, too. Let's hear them. pitch us your idea right now. If she uses your video idea, you will be compensated very, very.
Hey, if I do use your video idea, I will send you a gift card.
For how much?
For $100.
I've given you a lot of ideas.
Whatever. I have helped you so much. Let me tell you, Javi makes it sound like I'm some sort of dummy, but I have given him a lot of advice.
When have I made you seem like you're a dummy?
You call me a boomer. You call me
when have I called you a
get
boomer?
Your life together.
When have I said, Lizzie, get your life together?
You guys, how many times has he called me a boomer?
I have never said, Lizzie, get your life together.
And how old are you? 50 years old? Did they have that back in the 1920s?
Maybe.
Like, Lizzie never listened to me.
I said 1950s.
Lizzie's terrible video.
When did I say you need to get your life together? That's your inner dialogue coming out.
That's my inner dialogue.
Check yourself.
I need to go to therapy.
I know, no. How do I scare away investors from buying my neighbor's house? Oh, my gosh.
Tell me how you really feel. Oh, my God.
Oh, my gosh. No, I've never made you feel like a dummy, ever.
But I'm pretty smart, and I've definitely given him lots of advice that he has used to grow his business, grow your portfolio. I'm like your older sis. And honestly, that's why he's actually here on my YouTube channel, because he's really amazing friend, too.
Lizzie met me before YouTube.
I did. I've known him a really long time. Can I just tell you what a good friend he is, though, since I just put him on blast 5 minutes ago? A really crappy thing happened to me, and he was like one of the only people I told. And seriously, I was gonna have some sort of awkward encounter with this person, and then all of a sudden he's like, hey, I'm taking you out to lunch and I'm picking you up at like the time that I maybe was gonna run into that person. So he's an awesome friend, and I know he cares about me, even though we have these crazy little
that was a coincidence. I did not know that happened that day, but hey, it worked out. I still remember the prank call Javi did about financing a car while he was in escrow in his house. Oh, man, that's an old school video. Do you remember that?
Yeah, I do. I'm like, what? Old school. What happened? You did what? School. I know.
You should do a video on different generations, how easy or hard it is for them to buy a house. Reacts to TikTok financial advice. That would be a great video for us to do together, where I have the TikToks ready, and I want your reaction on the spot.
Okay.
But I'm going to have to charge you my fee for that. Can you use projected ADU income? Okay, let's see someone. I personally like videos that focus on single buyers trying to make it on their own without a spouse with housing options. This is not possible in some instances. But yeah, it's a good one. Congrats, Lizzie, on going on a whole hour without bringing up the silver tsunami. Grandpa and Grandma will be proud of you. Is it typical for a mortgage lender to raise up the mortgage payment $200 before closing on a refi? That's weird.
No. Something happened, though.
Lizzie should do more videos like her elf theme one.
I thought that video was so funny, you guys, and it got no love, too. People don't like my sense of
video idea, use mock clients in the process of you going through the approval process. That's a great idea.
What do you mean mock clients?
Like literally, okay, so you're looking to start getting pre-approved. This is the steps. This is what I do with my clients.
Okay. Cool. I like the TikTok one, too.
Reacting to the first video you posted. That'd be funny.
No, I hate those videos.
Why?
Because everyone comments on the video noise and the sound and the music in the background, and I was trying
Lizzie
so
used to
hard.
Watch her, which you guys probably edited, so I'm sorry saying it, but Lizzie used to make videos and the freaking volume was she was like... So it sounded like you were in a club with freaking basic music in the back. That is like
editor 101, let me tell you, because somebody just did an edit for me on my I did an interview with Danielle Robay, and it was so good. And I'm like, okay, hey, can you send me that? And I thought they were just gonna send me the blank video stuff because I need you to help me with that. And they had the loudest music, and I'm like, I'm so sorry. Can you please remove the music? I'm like, it must be here's how you edit a video.
Yeah, I had the same problem in my older videos. Just people, yeah, they go crazy on that. Yeah, okay.
Okay, so this is really awesome. Okay, let's answer more questions for these people. Thank you guys. You guys are awesome. If I choose your video idea, I will message you, and then we will have to send you a gift card for $100.
Dang, Zeke doesn't have to go back and look at these comments to see who did the video.
You know I do. I'm a nerd like that. I try to go and make sure that people get their value.
Why do you keep saying nerd? Is there a problem with nerds in your generation?
No.
I notice your generation always does that. Oh, I'm nerd. I'm just a nerd.
You
guys like saying that. You're not a millennial.
I am
Mercy
a millennial.
says you're from the forgotten generation. That's what they call you.
What?
Right, Zeke?
What is the forgotten generation? I'm going to Google it.
Google it right now. Watch. That's you.
What?
You forgot about it. That's why. But
No, I didn't. Hold on.
Lizzie Hofer $1. What's it?
Who's calling me
Lizzie Hofer $1.
Who is that?
Someone said, by the way, I rewatched Javier laugh at Lizzie Hofer $1 like 7 times. Sorry.
Well,
That's genius, dude.
dude, people in Nogales know how to rhyme.
Lizzie Hofer $1.
The forgotten.
Lizzie Hofer $1. Oh, I get.
Hold on. The Forgotten Generation.
That's you.
1928
Oh,
to
shit.
1945.
Whoops. I swear she said something like that.
The Forgotten. What age? Yeah, no, dude. They're like 76 to 93. Okay. Oh, hey, guys. There's a lot of you on here. Would you mind liking this live, please, for us? Please.
No, it's a geriatric millennial. Oh, okay. There, she's right here. She's watching. No, it's a geriatric. I swear you said forgotten generation.
You guys, millennials are like literally from what is millennial?
I swear she said forgotten generation. She's right here. She's Lizzie Hofer. Lizzie Hofer $10 for charity. There you go. $10 super chat.
Aw, thank you. Appreciate it. You're amazing.
Lizzie Hofer, very expensive.
Okay. Lizzie Hofer. Well,
Shay says so mean. Oh my gosh. Get a sense of humor, Shay.
okay. Hold on one second.
If she was born in 83, she's a millennial.
I am 83. That's where it is.
Sorry.
Oh, they did the math.
Sorry, Lizzie. I don't think you're old, though. Yeah.
I'm not old. I'm not old.
You're barely from the 1920s, so. Geriatric millennial. Like
You
that.
guys, I look at how old I look in this thing. I'm like this. I really need glasses, but I haven't gone to go get them yet.
How much savings would you suggest buying a $200,000 house?
I think that if you can save, here you get the best loan terms when you save. You put down 5%, truthfully, and you have a 720 or better credit score. So if you have 5%, at least 6 months in reserves, and you have money for closing costs, I think that's where you're going to get the best deal.
Revenge of the Nerds made a nerd kind of cool. Revenge of the Nerds made being. What is Revenge of the Nerds?
There's nothing wrong with nerds. I just really care about doing a good job, and so I call that nerdy. I think being a nerd is awesome. Nerds make lots of money. There's nothing wrong with being a nerd.
Lost Generation is born in the 80s, early 80s.
It's called the Lost Generation.
That's you? You're in the early 80s?
83, dude.
Yeah, so that's what it was, the Lost Generation. That's what you're called, not the Forgotten.
I'm also from Nogales, and can I tell you, I read this thing once that said technology in a small town is 10 years behind where
still
other
trying to
big
catch
cities
up.
are. And so I was like, God, I mean, I must be like 10 years further.
Lost Generation is from the World War I, dude.
Yeah, you guys are just trying to put
They're
me
millennial.
into
She's a
all
millennial.
things. I am a millennial.
The Lost Generation is from 83 to 1900. Whoops. Someone said,
In my past life, I probably qualified for those.
there's poor nerds too, don't discriminate. Oh, Kyle Seagraves responded.
Is Kyle going to get on?
Oh, no, he's at some kind of gathering right now. Yes, he's in some kind of
He's
family
at a
event.
bonfire.
He sent me a picture of his hairy legs.
I know, with a
With a
bunch of other
bonfire.
dudes' legs.
I would say nice legs. Like, hey, there's poor nerds. Lizzie Rock, can I call you, crunch some mortgage numbers? If you're working for her,
Absolutely. I will help.
she'll say yes to anybody. so.
Honestly, guys, if you message me your stuff, I generally try to always answer you guys and get you guys the stuff back.
All right, it's over an hour, so I'm going to call it.
All right. You guys were freaking awesome. I appreciate you. This is literally my favorite part of the week. I am trying to get an underwriter to do this live show with me next week so we can ask an underwriter all of your, your crazy mortgage questions, and they can give you from their perspective. I will have somebody cool, nonetheless, because we're going to miss Javi. Thank you for doing this for me. You're super awesome.
Awesome. Luis said Javi used to be a nerd. Remember band?
He is a nerd, guys. He has a video game channel, Discord.
What?
That is definition of
A
nerd.
video game channel Discord? What are you talking about? How are you a millennial? You said that. That makes no sense. Definitely videos on single purchasers. It's hard out here for us. Single income. Thank you. You two are awesome. Thanks to live. Yeah, no worries.
Awesome, guys. We appreciate
Zeke,
you.
Kill the feed, Zeke.